Far too many veterans who served our country honorably are now homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. Glenda Williams is a U.S. Army veteran who faced homelessness along with her 5 children. Glenda was struggling to keep up with her rent and basic living expenses. She lived in a dilapidated unit with rodents, mold, broken windows, and broken electrical appliances. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation Homeless Veterans Program provided Glenda with not just shelter, but also a safe and secure environment where she and her children could thrive. Glenda has since returned to school to pursue a degree, and her children are excelling in their studies. Imagine what it means to veterans like Glenda to know that people like you were there to make sure that she and her family had a safe and stable home and a solid foundation to build a new beginning. For Glenda's family and so many others like them, friends like you make all the difference. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org. That's t2t.org. Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us right here for Lara Trump, Wanted for Questioning. We are 3 weeks away from this election. I'm ready for it to be done, but until we get there, let me answer some questions. Here we go. Question number 1. Do you think that was Tim Walz's first time with a gun? Here's what my husband said. So my husband is a big shooter. You may or may not know this about Eric Trump. He's been a big shooter, has competed in the shooting sports for a long time, sporting clays and the like. And he was like, for a guy that was in the military, supposedly, for 20 years, he can't even load a shotgun. I can load a shotgun better than Tim Walz, okay? That's all I'll say. And if you're not that comfortable doing these things, don't embarrass yourself. Don't go out there and do this. You know why? Because it looks phony and it looks fake and it looks desperate and pandery and I saw a lot of comments talking about how clean his orange outfit was, that it didn't look like it ever had seen a day outside of a box or a department store or wherever that came from. Whether we're talking about that or Kamala Harris with the accents or the whole thing, I think it's just all leading us back to the same place, that these people are just not authentic. And you may not love every single thing that Donald Trump says or posts online or whatever it is, but you have to give him credit for saying exactly what he thinks all the time. He's very transparent. You don't have to guess with anything for him. And the thing about it is with the Democrats, look, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been in the White House for 4 years, nearly. The same machine and people who've been dictating what goes on in that White House will be the exact same ones who are dictating what goes on in a Kamala Harris, Tim Walz White House. And you can see that these two don't even have their own ideas. They can't answer basic questions. Everything is just sort of like supposed to be kind of murky and smoky and like we don't really want you to be able to see through it. Donald Trump will be direct. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks, and he'll do the things that are necessary to keep this country safe, put more money back in your pocket, and do the right things, putting America first. And that's the bottom line here. So was it Tim Walz's first time holding a gun? Maybe, probably has held one before. They would like us to think that they're like gun-toting, we're gun owners. I have a Glock. Isn't that what Kamala Harris said? It's just ridiculous, and it's very pandery, and quite frankly, just very gross. Okay. Next question. Do you think CBS is ashamed at all of the editing they did on their Kamala interview? They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I mean, this is supposed to be 60 Minutes, once upon a time, was supposed to be like the epitome of news shows, right? Like you're supposed to go there and get real information. They had the clock that ticked, the whole thing. I remember watching that as a kid, and that was real stuff you got on there. This was all fake. Again, let me go back to the fake, phony nature of everything that's going on the Democrat side. And it's really egregious whenever you have CBS, who is one of our 3 networks in America that people once upon a time trusted and was a source for news and information, to edit the interview with completely different words that were taken from a totally different question, just plug them in to an answer from a person who wants to be the leader of the free world. Yeah, that's a big problem. Do I think they're ashamed of themselves? Probably not. these people have long ago lost any shame they ever have for anything. They just, it's so outrageous, all of it. But I think that when the American people are catching on to what they're doing, they're really taking a deep look, hard look at what's going on in this country and looking at the fact that they're only doing that for one side of the aisle. You don't see them doing that for Donald Trump. If they do it for Donald Trump, they do it to actually take his words out of context and make it sound like he said something really awful that he didn't say. I'll take you back to the Charlottesville hoax, because that is one of the ones that drove a lot of people away from Donald Trump. Don't kid yourself. The mainstream media knew exactly how they were going to play that when they said, wait a minute, Donald Trump said there were very fine people on both sides, except the neo-Nazis and white supremacists who should be condemned totally. Let's just cut out that last part where he says that the neo-Nazis and white supremacists should be condemned totally. Take that out and just play the clip where he says there are very fine people on both sides. You know why? Because then it'll make people think that he's a racist. It'll make people think that he's a Nazi supporter. It is insane that this is what goes on in our mainstream media. And I hope you guys are paying attention. And I hope you're going back and talking to your friends. Snopes finally came out 7 years later, by the way, and put to bed the very fine people hoax, because it was a huge hoax. This is also a hoax with 60 Minutes. It's a hoax that they're trying to perpetrate on the American people, that Kamala Harris has any faculties about her to be president of the United States. Let's talk about something. Joe Biden actually lost his faculties and his ability to think clearly. That is a big problem. Medically speaking, this guy is not all there mentally, right? She doesn't have the capability, though, to be president, because she doesn't understand a lot of what she's talking about. She doesn't understand what's going on, doesn't understand the policies, can't articulate anything. And so when you need the assistance of a news organization like CBS to come in and help you out, man, are we losing our country if that is the case. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And I hope they learned a lesson, which is this. The American people will be fooled only for so long. We're going to call you out on it whenever you do it. So thank you and kudos to everyone who called this one out. It's outrageous. This is the United States. We've all seen how quickly life can change. The outcome of a single event can impact our entire nation. Now more than ever, it is crucial to be prepared. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with ReadyWise emergency food. With ReadyWise emergency food, you're covered not just for the worst, but for anything life throws your way. Enjoy peace of mind knowing you have delicious, nutritious meals ready when your family needs them. ReadyWise has a huge selection of freeze-dried meals from breakfast to pasta dishes. You can be assured your food will be good to eat when you need it with their 25-year shelf life. ReadyWise is an American company that cares about its fellow citizens, you, and is committed to your safety. Visit ReadyWise.com and use promo code Trump20 at checkout for 20% off any regular priced items. That's ReadyWise.com, promo code Trump20. Okay, you've heard me talk about sleep cream the last several weeks. Sleep is one of, if not the most important element in being able to function day to day. And most of us, including me, do not get enough quality sleep with the amount of daily stress or insane schedules that we're all keeping. Here's what I found to help me sleep better. Sleep cream. It's not a drug. It's not a prescription. It's a cream. I just rub it on when I'm ready to turn in for the night. And within a few minutes, it helps me relax and allows my body to do what it is supposed to do, sleep. Take my word, I am sleeping great when I have time for it. Sleep cream is all natural CBD with essential oils and a great lavender scent that I can't recommend enough. Try sleep cream for a couple of nights and see if it works for you as well as it did for me. If you don't sleep better from using it, sleep cream will refund your purchase and you don't even have to return it. Totally risk-free. Go to sleepcream.com. That's sleepcream.com. CREME.com. And as a bonus, use code November24 at checkout to save $24 off your first order. That's November24, all one word, at checkout. Get your best sleep ever with Sleep Cream at sleepcream.com. Next question. Oh, will we see you at MSG? For those who don't know, that's Madison Square Garden. You may have heard Donald Trump talked about this several months ago. He said, I'm going to have a rally at Madison Square Garden. Well, it's real. It's happening on October 27th. And yeah, you're going to see us there at Madison Square Garden because this is epic. First of all, can I tell you why I like this? Because For anyone who has ever been to an event at MSG, the energy in that building is incredible. I mean, it's designed as a sports arena, right? And I've been to some concerts there that have been great as well, but it's designed for sports. And I've gone to a lot of hockey games, a lot of Ranger games in Madison Square Garden, and it's epic. When there's a goal scored, I mean, the place goes crazy, the energy in there, you get really involved. And that's already what it feels like to go to a Trump rally, right? There's so much energy and excitement and enthusiasm and all those things. But to have it at MSG, literally in the liberal center, I'm going to say, of our country in New York City, love it. I couldn't love anything more, actually. And this tells you a lot about Donald Trump. He's not afraid to go anywhere. He's not afraid to ask anyone for their vote. And he will go places where they never expect him to go. He'll go to the Bronx. He'll go to Detroit. He'll go to Chicago. He'll go to Atlanta. He'll go wherever. And he's going to ask people to vote for him. And he's going to lay out the case as to why he is the better candidate and the better choice in this election. You're probably not going to see Kamala Harris do that. Doubt we're going to see her show up in a lot of the places that we don't expect her. In fact, she doesn't even show up in the places she's expected. So for Donald Trump to do this rally at Madison Square Garden, literally in Manhattan, deep, deep blue area, I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be one for the books. And so this is just Donald Trump's step to turning the entire map red on election night. So I hope y'all are all ready for that. Okay. Next question. What's the strangest gift you've ever received? I'll be really honest. I've gotten some weird ones. Strangest gift I've ever received. You know, my kids make me some very unique items, and then they want me to wear them or display them. I do love a good painted shell, you know, and sometimes I'm not talking about shells from the beach. Those are beautiful. These are shells that have been dug out of the dirt, like at school, at the playground, that are shoved in their pockets, and then they come home and they want to paint these shells. But the strangest one I've ever received, gosh, I'm trying to think about this and see if I can come up with it. I don't know. I've gotten a lot of very beautiful gifts from people, I'll say that, out on the campaign trail. Thank you. Very meaningful, very powerful. A lot of them have a lot of religious significance to them. But yeah, it's amazing because I often wonder, is Kamala Harris receiving those gifts? Tim Walz receiving those gifts? Are any of their surrogates out around the country receiving those sort of things? We get them and we love them. And I'll tell you what one of my favorites is to receive. And I posted about this on my social media the other day. Beverage napkins on an airplane. Notes on beverage napkins. I wish that I had over the years actually kept track of how many of these we received, because we get them all the time. If I fly somewhere, Eric flies somewhere, we always talk about it later. I'm like, oh, I got a beverage napkin, I got this, that. And they're always such nice messages, how supportive people are of Donald Trump, our family, all those sort of things. Thank you to everybody who's given us those. I wish I would have kept track of those over the years. I could have made a whole coffee table book out of beverage napkin notes that we've received. And they're so nice and they're beautiful. And we really do appreciate them. So thank you to everyone out there. I got to think about the strangest gift I've ever received, and I'm going to get back to you on it. My husband did give me a very nice gift for my birthday, which was last weekend. So thank you to Eric Trump for that. I'm a very lucky lady for sure. There's no doubt about it. So I'll come back to you on the strange one. Final question. Have you voted yet? I have not, but I sure will. I'll plan on early voting. I'll post about it, and I want you to do the same thing. Wherever you are in this country, go to swampthevoteusa.com. You can check your voter registration status, and then you can check where to vote early in your area, where to vote on election day in your area. Make a plan, get out and vote, but we really want you to vote early. Here's the thing. We've got to beat them in the early vote. If we come even close to the Democrats in the early vote, we're going to win this whole election. And I'm going to tell you why. Once you get your vote banked, we leave you alone. I'm not out there at the RNC trying to convince you to get out and vote. So what does that mean? That means I can take my resources and I can apply it to low propensity voters. These are people who don't vote in every single election cycle, but when they vote, we know they vote Republican. So please go vote early. Hopefully we will stop harassing you to this extent. I know you get a lot of texts. I know you get a lot of emails. We don't want you to forget how important this election is. Go vote early and then take your time all the way through election day, making sure that you get people out to vote. Talk to everyone you know and tell them how important it is to go vote in this election. But no, I have not yet voted. I will certainly post about it when I do. And pay attention. Think you're going to see Donald Trump going to vote early? Think you're going to see Melania Trump going to vote early? Think you're going to see Eric Trump going to vote early? Guess why we're voting early? Because that matters and that makes a difference. So please do the same. All right, that's going to do it for us for this episode of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. Thank you for those questions. Make sure you send us some more. And make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow. We'll see you back here next time for more of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. Nothing is worse than being on a phone call that drops. Nothing is worse than trying to text someone and you can't reach them because your phone is out of service range. And nothing is worse than supporting these major corporations and companies who don't support us. That is why I love Patriot Mobile. They are America's only Christian conservative wireless network. They use every cell tower out there available to all networks so that they have the greatest 4G and 5G coverage nationwide. And they support the causes that are important to us as conservatives. If you go today to patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump and use the promo code Trump, you will get free activation today. Again, that is patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump. The promo code is Trump for free activation so that you can get a great cell plan and feel good about doing it.